Stivello Magno is back, folks. Thanks again for joining our channel. We are welcoming again Fabrizio.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Fabrizio. Thanks for joining us again. So today we want to talk about this transfer market of Juventus. Things are changing a little bit in the last days. It seemed like a still market, no? Nothing was happening, and suddenly Allegri met in a summit, Agnelli and Elkan, and they decided to put all their best, all their efforts to take Paredes, Kostic, and we don't know exactly who, Morata, Muriel. There are different options for the attack. So what do you think, Fabrizio? Do you have any other information about it?
Well, Kostic is certainly a good buy. I mean, he's 29, but still, got another 3-4 good years in him. He's used to playing with Vlahovic for the Serbian national team. He doesn't cost much, neither to buy, neither as a salary. And he's got a lot of energy. He's left wing, right wing. He plays in those positions. He could probably play as left back, right back as well in a 3-5-2 system or in a 4-3-3 in the front three. Probably even back in midfield, a bit like Cuadrado. He's a bit like a Cuadrado. So you've got him and you've got Cuadrado, which can play in the front line, the middle line, or the back line, which is good. But he's obviously a few years younger than Cuadrado. So I think that's certainly a good move forward. And of course, Paredes for the midfield, I think is a must. We've had good news that Pogba's not going to be operated. Apparently, it's going to take 6 weeks for him to recover from his injury. Some doctors have said it's a bit risky not to have the operation right now because this therapy that he's going to be having may not work. But that's just the doctor saying that, you either do what the doctor says or you don't know what you're doing kind of thing. So we'll see. We'll just hope that, Pogba does recover and that when he does get back on the field, that he's not afraid of doing certain moves and not being afraid of getting injured again. Because if suddenly the therapy didn't work or he suddenly gets injured again, the World Cup's gone for him. So it is a bit risky to go down this other route. But, I do know that he has his own physiotherapist. And between the doctor that he saw in France and his physiotherapist, they've come up with this other type of therapy, which does not entail having an operation. And being myself married to a natural therapist, I know what my wife can do. And I know what other therapies I've been to have, between going to the osteopath, craniosacral therapy, reflexology. There are these alternative therapies that do work very effectively and are less invasive and actually more effective than having an operation. So, he's probably gone down the right route. But, certainly we do need some reinforcement there in midfield. But right now, there is an opportunity for Ravella, Miretti, and Fagioli to sort of have an opportunity to play in the next few matches because McKennie's out as well. Even if Paredes does come in, there's still space for these three young ones to play, get some game time, and hopefully prove that, that they're worthy of being in Juventus this season and they don't have to go out on loan. I mean, certainly Fagioli during the matches in the US has proved, his year out over at Cremonese has done him well. It's matured him and he's ready for Juventus. Miretti already played 4 or 5 last matches in the last season for Juventus in the starting 11. So he's going to stay. And Ravella seems to be doing a good job as well. So I think in the end, they're going to keep these 3 young ones, add Paredes, and I think our midfield is ready to roll. And if we get Kostic up front and hopefully either Morata or Raspadori, I think we're good for the season. Again, I'd like to change the goalkeeper. I said that last time. But, I mean, unless there's a surprise and, maybe Navas turns up and there's an opportunity to swap Navas for Szczesny, otherwise we keep it. But Perin has been doing very well. I mean, he's posted some photos on Instagram of him on the beach with his wife, extremely fit. So he's been working hard on himself. He played really, really well. There's talks about him becoming the number 1 goalkeeper if Szczesny doesn't wake up. So that's good. We've got that alternative, which can probably help us to advance maybe a little bit more in the Champions League this season. And of course, as I said all the way along, this is a very different season to others because it's going to be interrupted for 50 days because of the World Cup. And a lot of players are going to the World Cup. And so they're going to come back tired, injured, all sorts of things. And then all the different championships resume, including the Champions League. And so this is where I think a team like Juventus, if they populate their team with enough Italians, like Chiesa, Keane, Locatelli, Fagioli, Miretti, Gatti back, there's an opportunity for Juventus to maybe advance a lot more than what people are thinking in the Champions League. I'm not saying that we'll win it, but you never know. Sometimes the underdog does win.
You never know. Yeah, they can be an outsider. You know, it already happened many times in the history. And one more question, Fabrizio. Recently, I saw like an unexpected squad of Juventus, considering the last training of Allegri, because Mr. Allegri changed his philosophy, they're saying, thanks to Bianco and thanks to some inputs from his staff, no? So they are saying that he might play with Quadrado on the left, Vlahovic on the center, and Di Maria on the side. So a kind of 3-4-3. We're all hoping, or 4-3-3 with Zaccaria, Locatelli, and one of these youngsters that you're talking about.
Okay.
So one of between Rovella, Fagioli, or Miretti.
Okay.
What do you think about this disposition? That it's only like an invention, a fantasy, or Allegri could really play a bit more facing the opponent, you know, without only defending and.
Well, I mean, it certainly seems with these last 3 matches and the one today, they only played like 48 minutes against the under-23 team. But it seems like Allegri is putting his team on the field with more of an attacking style. So we did on your Italian channel all throughout this summer, we've been talking about Zidane replacing Allegri. And that didn't happen, or let's say hasn't happened yet, whatever. We were told the other day, and for those of you watching this in English, you won't know this because we did this on the Italian channel the other day. Mr. Gatta came on, who's friends with a lot of Juventus people and friends with Antonio Conte and his brother. And he told us that Antonio Conte has made peace with the Agnelli family. So the return of Antonio Conte as the Juventus coach will probably happen in the future. Next year, year after, or in 3 years' time, but it will eventually happen because I personally think the man to take Juventus right to the top and win the Champions League is Antonio Conte. He played for Juventus for 13 years. He was a coach that started this new cycle of 9 wins in a row of the Serie A Scudetto, and he kickstarted that. He created that squad. He invented Bonucci, Chiellini, and Barzagli and Buffon. He invented that defense that was famous for many years, both for the Italian national team and Juventus. Antonio Conte designed that defense, and he created that defense. And he's won wherever he's been. Let's see what he does with Tottenham. Once he finishes his stint with Tottenham, there's lots of talk of him coming back to Juventus. But going back to Max Allegri, looks like he has changed. It looks like that this whole, we're winning 1-0, let's go and sit back in defense, stop the other guys from scoring and just win 1-0 because it's 3 points. Let's not use our energies up attacking again, trying to score 3 or 4 goals. It looks like Max Allegri is going to play more of an attacking football, which is refreshing to see. It's good to see that he's making this change. He's had some changes in his back office coaching team. He's had this other coach, Bianco, come in, which obviously is giving an input. Paduin, who used to be a Juventus player under Max Allegri during his first stint, is part of the coaching staff as well. And there's been a change with a nutritionist as well, and the guy that does the fitness training. So it looks like that these changes in the back office are giving him input, and he's listening to this input. And so I think we're going to see Fagioli, Miretti, Rovella. I think we're going to see the 3 of these youngsters stay. I think they're going to get game time thanks to the 2 injuries, and it's time for them to shine. And if they do shine, this will be a fantastic addition to the Juve team because they're already Juventus players. They don't have to go out and spend 100 million on some midfielder and pay him 8 million a year. They've got these youngsters in house. They're also 2 of them are club trained players, and this is important for the Champions League list. Miretti and
that's interesting.
CTPs, as well as Moise Kean. So there you go. There's 3 of them, which are club trained players. Also, Soule is a club trained player. Ake is a club trained player. So you've got quite a few of these club trained players, and that's going to be key because in order to win Serie A, in order to win any league and even the Champions League, you've got to have a long bench. You've got to have good guys on the bench ready to come in if someone's injured or someone's run out of steam. You can throw them in and they can perform. And so giving these 3 youngsters game time, now with these 2 injuries, there's opportunity. Even if Paredes comes in, there's still going to be opportunity for them to play maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and prove that they are worthy of the Juventus jersey.
I totally agree, Fabrizio. A really nice talk. And I was thinking also to ask you, what do you think about the potential Savic income? Let's say, do you think that they could try to get him, considering that Pogba got injured?
You mean Savic, the midfielder from Lazio, or Savic?
Yeah, Milinkovic-Savic. Yeah, sometimes I don't say it in full because it's a long name, so it's like I make a discount in the name.
I think the problem with that, Stefano, is that Lotito, the guy that manages Lazio, he wants too much money for this guy. And the question is, do we need to spend 70 million on a midfielder when we can get Paredes for, I think he's on a free transfer?
For only free transfer, and then you pay 30 million after 3 years when the contract is over.
Okay, so they have to buy Paredes. Yeah, they buy. Okay, but Paredes, you spend 30 million, not 70. Okay, but you've got someone that plays in that playmaker position, which Milinkovic he plays, left or right. So you're spending less money for Paredes, and you've got that playmaker, which we don't have right now. Even though between Fagioli, Miretti, and Rovella, the three of them could play in that position with a bit of training, and that they can develop into that position. But why spend the money for this? Because Lazio want too much money for it.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I mean, if we have to spend any more money, maybe let's spend for another central defender.
That would be great, because they are saying that we are trying to send on loan Rugani, and of course we'll get rid of our Arthur. So this is another good news for the youngster, because Pogba is injured, McKennie is injured, Arthur will go away. So 3 places will be free. One will join, which is Paredes. The other 2 are probably able to to play, Fagioli or Miretti.
Yeah, plus they're club trained players. So as far as the list for the Champions League, those 2 guys don't occupy one of the 23 positions because they're club trained players. So, there's an advantage in keeping the 2 of them. And Rovella has been proving that he's been doing good the last few games. So why not keep him as well? Why go and spend money for these people that, like Milinkovic-Savic? They want too much money for him. It doesn't make sense.
Better to invest on Milenkovic, as you say, a mid defender, someone that can replace Rugani, reliable, that is able to play 90 minutes every game, and he can play on the left side of the defense. He's able to score. He's able to launch the attackers, to start the action from the area. No?
Yeah, and he's Serbian. He's Serbian, so he fits in with Vlahovic and with Kostic. They play for the national team together. So you got 3 from the Serbian national team there. They'll create. They've already got that friendship.
The skeleton. The Serbian skeleton.
Yeah, the Serbian skeleton, which is good. So why not? Yeah.
So Fabrizio, we had a very nice discussion. I invite you again in the channel for next live. Thank you so much for coming with us.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody, and Forza Juve.
Thank you. Forza Juve.